federal government sacked over 500 illegal employees of the Labor Ministry. Now, the federal government has sacked over 500 illegal staff of the Ministry of Labor and Employment, the Cable reports. They were said to have been employed into the ministry weeks before the 2019 general election, but without a waiver from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Now, before we go into the details in full, we'd like to say a very big welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us once again on the channel. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you're joining us for the very first time. To all of our existing subscribers, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our posts as they come your way. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Now, into the details in full. Now, according to an internal circular signed by Hussein Abdulrahman, the Director of Human Resource Management at the Ministry, and obtained by the Cable, the illegal staff were sacked due to the refusal of a committee to enroll the new employees into the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPS platform. Now, the IPS is a platform under the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, responsible for the payment of salaries and wages directly to government employees' bank accounts, with appropriate deductions and remittances of third-party payments. Now, Abdulrahman stated in the circular that the non-compliance with the directive of the Head of Civil Service by the Ministry of Labor during the employment process was the main cause of the sack of the workers. Now, the circular also directed the affected workers to return all government properties in their care to their respective unit heads. Now, with reference to the letter from the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, reference number NICS FPSCMO IPS S2 vote, which was dated the 5th of September 2022, on the above subject, I am directed to inform the underlisted persons that the Committee on Enrollment of New Employees into the IPS platform did not process their enrollment, the circular reads. Furthermore, the recruitment exercise was carried out without waiver from its office. All affected persons are hereby requested to immediately return any government property or properties in their possession to the heads of department or unit. Now, a top source in the ministry, who did not want to be named due to fear of intimidation, told the Cable that the affected staff were those who paid for employment slots. Now, trading of employment slots, especially federal jobs, is not an uncommon practice in the civil service system. The source said that the SAC staffs were hired by the ministry in 2019, adding that while some were given IPS numbers and proper identification, others were not. He added that those without the IPS numbers have not been paid since then. Now, another source alleged that the job racketeering scandal was during the tenure of William Allo and Ake Adeniyi, the permanent secretary and the human resource manager, respectively, at the ministry at the time. They sold the slots to innocent people in 2019. These people were not paid for ones to date. You will see them lurking around the ministry building. What we know for sure is that the racket is between the former permanent secretary Allo and Ake Adeniyi, the source said. The last time I checked, I knew the affected people paid over 300,000 naira each for the jobs. Now, the Cable learned that the affected staffs have written to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, the ICPC, on the matter, which is currently being investigated. A development, Azuka Ogugwa, the commission spokesperson, confirmed. Basically, the ICPC is working with the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation and the Federal Civil Service Commission to deal with job racketeering issues, Ogugwa said. This was stated clearly during a policy dialogue held by the Commission in April last year. Some persons have been arrested and prosecuted, and the details are on our website. But if those fired by the federal government wrote to the Commission, I cannot discuss the details of their letters. Now, in an interview with the cable, Olajide Osundu, who is the spokesperson for the Ministry of Labour, said that the ministry resolved to let the affected staff go after efforts to legalize their employment failed. Speaking further, he said that the issues around the employment scandal started when Alo and Adeniyi recruited above the number approved for the ministry by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. He said that the ministry got approval for the recruitment of 120 junior staff, as against the over 600 who were later recruited. So we have an excess of 512. All this happened during the period of transitioning to the new tenure of the present administration, he said. The Minister of Labour and Employment knew nothing about employment. The current PAMSEC and the Director of Administration now weren't there then. This became an issue. Now, Ngige made an overture to the head of the service and pleaded for a waiver to retain them. The head of the service said that there is no vacancy for them. The new PAMSEC also made a lot of efforts to see how these 512 can be retained. The head of service said she would have loved to do it, but she can't just approve employment without vacancy for them. The ministry has no option now but to ask the 512 to leave because they were not captured for salary. They haven't been paid salary since the time they were given the employment letters. The summary of it was that the appointment was illegal. There is nothing to do to correct illegality. The present administration in the ministry has no other thing to do after making several failed overtures than for them to leave. Well, that is it on the details of today's report. Until we'll come your way next time with more news happening around the country, do well to stay safe. Bye-bye.